I want to suggest to your audience that they should read the book White Rage by Carol Anderson that talks about the pathology and the problems with white people and why they are acting out in such a time as this.
Amazing. And so do you believe that white people are acting out?
Oh, my gosh, to be sure. I don't believe it. The facts tell us that.
And where's the proof that white people are acting out?
Well, I think that every day, whenever we get a chance to pick up our phones and look through the media, when you hear such names as Brandon Weber and Charlene Lyles and Deborah and Rakia Boyd and Maya, and when we hear such names as Eric Garner and Tamir Rice and Botham Jean and E.J. Bradford and Michael
Who are those
Brown,
people?
yes, all of these are individuals that were murdered by racist white people or shot by racist white people. That's more than enough proof that white folk are acting out.
Had those thugs that you just named off been decent people and followed the instruction of the officer like normal people do, would they be alive today?
Well, what we know is, for example, Tamir Rice, there was no instruction given. And we have, of course, the video footage that shows that in a matter of a couple of seconds, the beast...
No, that's not what I ask you. I ask if those people had been decent black people and followed the instruction of the officer once confronted by the police officer, had they followed the instruction as decent people would do, would they be alive today?
Well, your question is nonsensical because no direction was given to Tamir Rice, for example. He was just shot on contact.
We're not talking about Tamir Rice. They thought that he took the orange on his little BB gun or whatever type of gun he had. It wasn't a real gun. The little orange thing should have been taken off or should have been on. What other ways that they would have known it wasn't a real gun? But unfortunately, he has changed the dynamic of that gun. That's why he's dead today. And he was out there. People thought he had a real gun. They called the cops on him, and that's why he's dead today. So I want to go back to my question. Had those black people acted as decent people should act when stopped by the cops, would they be alive today?
Well, first of all, your question makes no sense in most of those cases. Many of the cases, as you well know, our beloved black brothers and sisters' hands were up. So they were actually following the directions of the police officers when they were murdered.
That's not true.
But to Tamir
You're making
Rice,
that up. That's not true. Why is it difficult for blacks to tell the truth?
Well, you know, Brother Jesse, Reverend Jesse, I think you call yourself Reverend Jesse.
No, you can just call me Jesse.
Okay, Reverend, because I'm not sure where you were ordained.
You can just call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse, what's interesting is about what you just said. Do you know that in the Tamir Rice case, for example, do you know that when folk were calling in, do you know that the recording shows that the person that called in said that they believed that the gun might be a toy gun?
They didn't know whether it's a real gun or not. I want to go back to it one more time for my question. Had those black people that are dead now that you named off had acted like decent, moral people when stopped by the cops, would they be alive today?
Many of the people I listed were not stopped by the cop. For example, one of the black women
when they were confronted by the officer, would they be alive today had they followed the golden rule?
One of the things that was involved in one of the sisters that was murdered by a racist white savage was she was stopping at the house to ask him for directions, and he shot her. She stopped to ask
she was a nutcase too.
Her fellow white neighbor. She stopped a fellow white American citizen for directions, and that beast came to the door and shot this black woman for asking for directions.
Are you a Christian?
You know, I'm going to say I'm that and so much more. I am a student in the Nation of Islam where we teach from both Bible and Holy Quran.
So you belong to Louis Farrakhan folks?
Oh, you can say that.
How can you follow an evil, dirty man like Louis Farrakhan who believe that white people are the white devils and that they were created by some black men who turned... because Louis Farrakhan has this false notion that black people were the first on the earth and that somehow or another some black men turned evil. They went into a lab and created the blue-eyed devil. That's how we ended up in the blue-eyed devil. Louis Farrakhan also believed that he went up in a spaceship and spoke with dead Elijah Muhammad. You only get that kind of trip when you're on acid. How can you follow a man like that?
Well, you are Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson. And again, I'm not sure where you were ordained or what seminary or cemetery you matriculated from, but you believe in Moses.
I ask you, you're not answering my question. How do you follow an evil man like Louis Farrakhan?
Well, I'm going to make a point here. And first of all, he's not an evil man. And I'm bringing
What's good about him?
I was bringing up some of the prophets.
What's good about Louis Farrakhan? You're deviating.
What's good about Louis Farrakhan is that Minister Farrakhan for over 64 years has been standing on behalf of the most disrespected, oppressed, and murdered people on the planet. That's the black man and the black woman.
But only by other black people.
Indeed not. Indeed not.
Only by other black people have treated other black people worse than any white person can ever consider treating anyone. Why don't you, if you people are so unhappy with America, and you call yourselves African American, mommy Africa, right? Why don't you go back to your country? Well,
first of all, because black folk are the owners of the whole planet, everywhere belongs to us. And you can't say because you criticize, that makes you the most patriotic because you criticize so that America correct itself. I'm the most patriotic person you'll ever find because I want America to correct herself.
That's amazing. And correcting herself means to do what?
Correct herself, meaning to stop murdering us, to cease and desist killing us, cease and desist raping and robbing, cease and desist the unjust incarcerating of our people, cease and desist flooding our communities with drugs and alcohol, cease and desist poisoning our waters, cease and desist holding on to resources that never belonged to them in the first place and for benefiting from those things. Those are the things that I want them to do. And to, you know what? Show us the money.
Show me the money. See, I told you want money.
Yes, because it belongs to us.
There you go, begging for money. Y'all want free stuff, and I know why y'all want free stuff.
It's a bill.
For the last 70 years, America have been giving black...
Reparations is a bill. Reparations is a bill.
Last 70 years. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Last 70 years, black people have been begging, so America has been giving them free stuff rather than correcting them. Have been giving them free stuff. And so now they are spoiled and they are incapable of earning their way. They want free stuff. So if white people ever consider making you work, there are going to be riots in the street. So that's why you're still begging for all this stuff.
Reparations is a debt owed. Those are services that were rendered for hundreds of years that America owes us. That's not begging for stuff. That's demanding to be paid. That's number one. Number two, white folks are the only ones that are receiving free stuff. It's Europeans that got free land under the Homestead Act. It's Europeans that are getting... It's Europeans that are benefiting from corporate welfare. They're the ones who ended up getting the bailout to the tune of billions and billions of dollars, not black people. Remember, black folk lost more wealth with their properties during the Great Recession.
You said that you want the cops to leave the black community.
Yes.
What do you say to those black mothers What do you say to those black mothers who are begging the cops to come back, not to leave?
I don't know any that are doing that.
They are doing it. There are some who are doing it. Why you don't know the right stuff? You seem to know all the wrong stuff.
Well, again, because, Brother Jesse, because when you are recipients of these kinds of awards, folk that are coons and meritorious manumission and butter biscuits, they tend to lie and they spout racist, inaccurate.
Butter biscuit with honey.
So you're not giving us 100% of the truth.
We run out of time. I want to ask, do you believe in the spiritual order of God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, woman over children? Do you believe in it? Do you believe in that spiritual order?
In the proper context with the true Christ, not the white Jesus. Do you believe in?
No, you're not asking my question. Do you believe in that order?
I do believe in spiritual order.
So my question then, if black men were to overcome their mothers and return to their earthly fathers, love God, love their earthly fathers, which would cause them to love God, and the black men would come back to their proper state of being, would women like you follow them then?
Once you stop following the white Jesus.
No, you didn't answer the question. I asked, would women like you follow the man if he was in his natural state of being?
Yeah, I would. No woman in her right mind would not submit to a man that knows the real God and that loves
the black men and all men need to overcome their mothers, return to their fathers, and love their earthly father so they can love God, and then the black woman would come to order, right? The women and
And
children, the women and children would come to order then, right?
overcome their fathers. What if those fathers are
No,
dead
no, I
or
said
in
overcome
prison?
their mother. They need
You
to
said
overcome their mothers
and return. Oh,
and be-
okay.
and return to their earthly
to their
fathers.
fathers. Now, what if their earthly fathers
And-
abandon the family?
No earthly father abandoned the family. They abandoned the mother because most black men can't handle the girlfriends or live-ins or whatever because the black women, you become like what you hate. And most black men hate their mothers. And they end up with black women who are just like their mothers. And so they can't handle the black woman. So because they become the boy and she become the mama. And so they bail out on the woman, not their children. Black men, all men love their children, but the mother would lie to the children and tell them, your father abandoned you. She won't tell the children, I ran your father off. He couldn't handle me. I was held to pay. And so that's why the kids think the father don't love them. They love their children. It's just that they can handle the angry, out-of-control mother. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.